Torey, how is Tommy Pham's toe doing, and do you see him getting back in the field anytime soon?
His toe's fine. He's been we've been monitoring it for now probably the past 2 weeks. It was a real thing. It was very uncomfortable for him, but he did not want to come out of the lineup. Down the stretch, he just showed a lot of toughness and said, I might need a DH, and I'll give you everything I can down the line, but I don't want to come out of this lineup because I'm going to make an impact somehow, some way. But I think he's coming out the other end, and he's got a ton of treatment, and he's in a good spot right now.
So is it more of a preference of Gurriel over Pham?
Yeah, I know you're probably wondering how it led to Rivera being on the bench. I know he'd seen the lineup a little bit differently. I just think out of fairness to Tommy and what I've been asking him to do, to stick him back out there right now might not have been the best thing for him or this team. But if I need to, I can't put him out there. I just want to let him get a few more reps, practice reps.
You made one change to the roster, adding Kyle. Is that just to kind of neutralize some of the Dodger left-handers?
Yeah. We know the Dodgers well. We understand the reason why they're stacking their lefties, what it looks like. The first line of substitutions, the second line of substitutions. I just felt like when I was talking to the front office about some versatility to have that extra lefty would give me a little bit of an advantage with some of the moves. But look, they're a good team. You got to be loaded up with your best players, and we felt like this lineup, best players and pitchers, with this lineup and this team, we felt like it landed on Kyle.
Hey, Torey, a couple of disparate questions here. Number one, how do you balance your family personal stuff during a series like this? Get to see them and actually do your job.
Yeah. I appreciate you giving me a chance to talk about my family. I was born and raised not but 15 minutes from here, so it's been a little bit of a challenge. I asked because of being here and it being so busy to just give me a little bit of an opportunity to have our meetings, meet with the staff, get ready and gear up for what's a really important series. But tomorrow we're going to have probably a nice family dinner somewhere along the path. My mom is setting it up right now, but they'll all be here. Root for the Diamondbacks, obviously, but it's sometimes a little awkward for me with how engaged they are in my career. But at the end of the day, they love me and support me, and that means a lot to me.
And secondly, how do you change up in this series how you play the Dodgers, especially here, so you have better results?
Well, first of all, they're a great team. How much can you change? How much can you do? You just got to be on point with the things you do well, the things you know you have to do well to beat them. So we want to put it on us. I don't want to force us to look at the opposition and concentrate on what's going on so much in the opposing dugout. We got to play our game the D-back way and attack. Whatever we're doing, we have to stay on the attack. Because if you don't, they sniff blood, and when they sniff blood, they get very good. They're good, period, but they get even better. So we got to be at our competitive best by just being ourselves. And I don't want to put too much more into it. We respect our opponent. We are in a good spot. I think we're a different team than we were when we came in here at the end of the season. We're looking for a really good series.
Torey, you got me all excited. I thought you went with the same lineup 3 days in a row before I realized you flipped Cattell and Corbin. Just curious your thoughts on that.
Barry sent me a text. He said this is the lineup I should be using.
Not today.
He really did send me a text about 2 months ago.
And how did it work?
Oh, we got hot. We got hot.
It's a true story.
Yeah.
I was an advisor.
Just like me, I got a sweatshirt on. I think it's branded, so I'm getting hot right now. I apologize.
I'm the one
Yeah,
that
go
put the
ahead.
bucket in his ear.
Okay.
No,
that's
you
good.
were.
JP standing about
A little curious about the man who came in here about this time yesterday and embraced you.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about the relationship that you and Mookie Betts formed in Boston and how close you've remained since?
Yeah, I love Mookie Betts. I love him like my own child. And we, I think, have a very unique bond that we both understand. I cheer for him and pull for him professionally and personally. We stay in contact throughout the course of the year, mostly via text, and I pridefully watch him and his success. And there's just a mutual level of respect and admiration. And once we get between the white lines, though, it's on. You know, it's all about competition, and you know, I get the front row seat to watch them compete, and I love that. But my relationship, my friendship means more to me than people might even have a clue about. And for him to walk in here yesterday, that's the norm for he and I. I watched him grow up. I think he said something along the lines, he raised me. I watched him grow up. We had a lot of really good conversation along the way about what it took to be a major league player, what it took to be a consistent major league player. And I think he, at the time when he was 21 or 22 years old, had his sights set on being a Hall of Fame player. That's what he used to talk to me about. And he's on his way.
The front row on the left.
Hey, Torey, is the plan for Game 3 to throw a flat out there, or is that going to depend on you as well?
We'll hold off on that. I think that's the natural spot for him. That's the thing that we're looking at, and we'll get that going as soon as possible. I'll give you. It'll be Merrill and Gowan today in Game 2.
Torey Lovullo here at AZ Family.
Hi.
Hi. So Merrill Kelly, obviously his demeanor is a lot different when he steps onto the mound. Can you just describe, just how locked in he is, and today's the day to really show what he's got?
Yeah, I know he loves to step on the stage. He loves a big game. I remember talking to him pre WBC Japanese start, and he said that this is something that he's been looking forward to, and looking at this opportunity to have his entire life. So I think he's able to slow things down. I think he's able to create an awareness as to what's going on, and get excited and feel it. And that's something I talk about with these players. Like we're all human. We all have this emotion. If you try to bury it and say it's not there and it doesn't exist, you're lying to yourself. So just embrace what you're feeling. But when it's time, take a deep breath, step on the mound, and know your preparation has led you to be X. And hopefully tonight, great. I always think every time he takes him out, he's going to be great because I know what he believes in. But he's ready for this opportunity. And I don't care what's happened in the past. Everybody's 0-0. And it's game 1, and he's ready for a challenge.
Here on the right.
Torey, Lee in Washington, 12 News Phoenix.
Hi.
We just had Peralta in here not too long ago. What are the emotions of seeing a player like that, and what do you want the fans at Chase Field how do you want them to receive him? Yeah,
whatever they feel would be best. I don't want anybody to get booed unless they feel like it's something they really want to do, but David isn't the type of guy that deserves to get booed in Arizona. Personally, David was a player that I gravitated to, appreciated his effort, his honesty, his ability to connect emotionally with me, the players around him, the staff, and then he connected with the community in an unbelievable way. I know he was a fan favorite because of the freight train and all that stuff, and he's emotional. But the things he did inside of our baseball community and inside of the Phoenix community are amazing. So they should love him up. And same thing, a lot like Mookie Betts. I enjoy watching David compete, go out there. Of course, we don't want them to do well. We try to figure out how to get them out at all times. But when I'm seeing them from afar and they're having success and they're helping the team win, I get pretty excited for them.
Back row on the left.
Hey Torey, going back to Tommy Pham, just curious, do you think the turf toe has had any impact on his offensive ability, maybe some of the struggles he's had here over the last couple weeks?
You'll have to ask him specifically if that's the case. I've had some conversations with him about that, and I know that at its worst point, he was really grinding. I want to go back to maybe, was it New York Mets or Yankees? I can't remember what it was, where I did talk to him about that. And he said, I'm fine, don't worry about me, I'll get my hits and I'll do what I have to do. Which to me was, shut the F up and don't ask me that question again. And I did. So I just followed it through the medical team, and the medical team kept assuring me that he's fine. But I think, we're talking about your right foot, getting your right foot engaged in your swing and keeping a good base, and hitting is all legs anyways for me. I think you got to be in a good spot. I think it was hurting him for a little while early on. He's in a much better spot right now.
Jack in the front.
Torey, we got to speak with Mike and Derek quite a bit yesterday about him getting the extension. So just want to get your feedback on the extension and what it means to you to see that happened for Mike?
Oh man, I think it's a statement by this organization about the things they recognize that Mike Hazen and his group do right every single day. I believe in continuity. I believe in connection, and that tells me that even though we've had some really tough times here, that they believe in the process and trusted what was going on from the dugout level and slightly above to the front office. And I think it really likes stability. There's no doubt about it. I think it made a statement to the players that we're here and nobody's going anywhere, and we're going to continue to fight the same fight every single day. But Ken and Derek are unbelievable. I know how Mike feels about them, and it's a very strong, healthy relationship. And I know as I see things through the course of my days, especially now when there are some changes and you hear about relationships between front offices and managers, I can't even imagine that, because I know how healthy and strong the relationships are from Ken all the way down through me, and we're grateful for that.
What were the last few boxes to check with Gabby and making sure that he was good to go?
That he didn't start having headaches, that there was nothing as far as dizziness or blurred vision, and that was never the case. He didn't ever have a headache. He just felt a little dizzy. That was what he was talking to me about on the field. And once that dizziness subsided, we asked him to catch a couple balls, and he felt good. So I think that's the extent of what he felt. Now, once he got in the dugout, I think he started complaining about some nausea, and that's when our medical team, our team doctors that are on the road with us, said we got to get him out of the lineup. So he hasn't had any of that since Milwaukee, and he's just been improving ever since.
Anything else for Torey? Take one more with David in the middle.
Just to follow up on that, how big of a sigh of relief is that for you guys to be able to count on Gabby?
Yeah,
No.
a major sigh of relief. We all know what our team's record is when he is in the lineup versus out of it. There's stability there with receiving and game calling. It's an offensive-minded catcher that can separate it and go back behind the plate and do his job there and get dirty and throw runners out. So, yeah, we believe in our understudies, but he's an impact player that we dearly needed for this series.